Thank you for staying with us, everyone. Let's begin tonight with some updates, giving you some news coming from the nation's capital. A meeting of the governors of the ruling APC with the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Governors of the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, says it is working assiduously to put its house in order. The governor of Imo State, who is the chairman of the Governors Forum of the APC, Rochas Okorocha, told State House correspondents after a closed-door meeting held between the acting president, Yemi Osinbajo, and APC governors at the State House that the need arose to properly synergize the party with the presidential office. He said the APC is not worried over the antics of the PDP or its reconciliatory moves, expressing confidence that the APC is not divided and still in charge. The meeting, which lasted for over an hour, included governors and some deputy, including the ones from Kogi, Kwara, Benue, Ondo, Imo, Zamfara, Plateau, Adamawa, Niger, Kebbi, Kaduna, Ogun, and Oyo states. Of course, we give you details of that meeting in right here on Channels Television. So with us, we'll give you more in our bulletins on the station.
We came to see the acting president and to talk issues that relate to our party because people seem to have forgotten that the acting president and the president are members of APC. So we've come to discuss issues related to our party and our government and how to move our party forward. Precisely. Well, there's a lot of issues we discuss to move the party forward and how to strengthen the party, how to make sure that our party remains victorious in all elections. Absence of Mr. President or President or acting president, we are just putting our house in order and making sure things are in the right form before we kick off. But PDP is a non-issue, complete non-issue. We don't even care about that. We defeated them when they were in power, so what was different when we're not in power? Thank you.
Well, interesting days ahead. Let's also give you some updates on the recall process of Senator Dino Melaye. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has asked the Federal High Court in Abuja to set aside the restraining order which put the recall of the senator representing Kogi West and the Senate, Senator Dino Melaye, on hold. The restraining order was issued on the 6th of July by Justice John Sow, who subsequently adjourned the matter to the 29th of September. But INEC, in a motion on notice brought before Justice Nnamdi Dingba, prayed the court to set aside the order for maintenance of status quo in the case. In a motion filed by Mr. Sulaiman Ibrahim, the electoral body claimed that the order for the status quo has hindered it from proceeding with the recall process of the senator representing Kogi West Senatorial District and the Senate. In a 16-paragraph affidavit in support of the motion in notice, and it claimed that the order made by Justice Sow is against the time-bound duty of INEC as enshrined under Section 69 of the 1999 Constitution. And now to our major story of today. Well, remember that there were issues surrounding the 2017 budget, the back and forth between the National Assembly and the executive, with disagreements over what the legislatures did on the document. Today, the acting president, Yemi Osinbajo, has written to the House of Representatives requesting for a virement of 135.6 billion naira to some critical priority projects in the 2017 budget. In the letter, which the acting president wrote to the House of Representatives, he read that also was read by the Speaker of the House. The acting president drew the attention of the House to discussions and agreements between the two arms before the 2017 appropriation bill was signed into law on the 12th of June 2017. And part of the agreement was that the executive should submit a virement proposal to move some funds from within the budget to other critical items in the budget. Some of the ministries to benefit from the virement include the Federal Ministry of Power Works and Housing, the Ministry of Transportation, and the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. But what does that mean to the budget and the present state of the Nigerian economy? Let's get perspective to the matter. Senator Ita Enang, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly, he joins us from our Abuja studio. And here in Lagos is Mr. Seun Onigbinde, the co-founder of Budget. He joins us here in Lagos. Many thanks, Seun and Senator Enang. Let me begin with you, Senator Enang, from our Abuja studio. What does this mean? it looks so much that the environment may be a language distant from the average Nigerian. What does this mean? Is it that you're requesting for more money, or you're asking for monies to be moved around based on some of these projects?
Environment is a request by the executive or a request made to move money or funds from one project to another, or to increase the budgetary allocation for a particular project and reduce the budgetary allocation from another project. It is actually a process of reordering the amount available or budgeted for each ministry. Environment that does not include, environment does not raise the money available made for each ministry higher, and does not reduce it lower, but it simply moves funds from one head of expenditure to another head of expenditure, making the implementation of the budget more realistic.
If I may quickly get your take on these, there were a lot of disagreements over the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, specifically when the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, said that the monies for that project has been cut. Has that been resolved? Specifically, what can you tell us about that project?
You know, what we did as a government was that under the leadership of the Ministry of Budgets and National Planning, each ministry and minister was asked to look at the budgetary provisions within her ministry, within his or her ministry, and then suggest areas where money could be moved to areas where it could increase to enable the implementation to be in accord with what the government, what will be more reasonable. And the ministers, working with the chairman and leadership of the respective supervisory committees of the Senate and House of Representatives, made these proposals, forwarded to the Minister of Budget and National Planning. The Minister of Budget related with the ministry and with the National Assembly, and then arrived at what we wanted, and then submitted it to the office, to His Excellency the Acting President, and the Acting President, upon consultation, has forwarded it to the National Assembly. So it is correct that the areas of challenge has been addressed. Okay. I will not want to be very specific, but the Honourable Speaker and Mr. President's letter to the National Assembly has really shown areas that money is to be reduced from, and the areas to which money is to move to.
All right. Let me come to Mr. Onigbinde here. Your role in your company is to break down some of these figures, give us a sense of what it means. 135 billion environment to the over 7 trillion naira budget in the 2017 budget. What does this mean to an average Nigerian on the street?
I'm happy that we are done with the squabble between the President, Presidency, and the National Assembly, and we are moving forward. And environment is the way to move forward. If we have signed the budget and they still feel that there are issues that have not been ironed out, you can say, okay, we were going to move funds from projects that we don't care about to projects that we care about. And it's very evident that things like Lagos-Ibadan Expressway was cut from 35 billion naira to 10 billion naira. The East-West Road went from 12 billion to 7 billion naira. So I guess those were the priority projects that the executive was hammering on, that we need to properly fund those projects so that we can fulfill our promises to the people. So it looks like it's a way forward, and we can get away from the noise that has always enveloped the space about this.
Well, not necessarily that the budget envelope is increased.
No, it's still 7.44 trillion. So possibly maybe the solar power power, nail lights, maybe the street lights, and maybe the items that were inserted by the legislature into the budget. Those are the items the executive will be pushing for to be removed, and possibly there will be funds to be reallocated for the main capital project.
So it's some good news, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good news that we appreciate democracy. You know, democracy gives opportunity for you to readjust in case when even you are stuck. The powers of appropriation, from my own point, is always with the National Assembly, even as wide as they can insert items into the budget. But the powers of implementation resides with the executive, and also the powers of environment. You can always make environment and use all your political capital to ensure that it is passed. Okay. You can move forward from that point.
We take a moment, but when we return, we will dwell more on these issues of the 2017 budget, the executive-legislative relationship. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.